Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and we're going to do another update on our African Nightcrawler system. Now, the last time I did an update, it was to add a heated mat underneath everything. But now, I've realized that having a timer on that mat is not working out nearly as well as I wanted, and the system is getting a little too hot, and it's cooling off too much. And I've tried to adjust that, and it just hasn't worked out really well. And then there's a couple times that the timer just stopped turning on altogether. So I went out and I bought this off of Amazon, which is a heater, or I should say a plug with a thermostat so it can turn the heating mat on and off. And I think that this is going to work a little bit better to maybe controlling the temperature, try to keep it within a range of 5 degrees rather than having it go up to almost 90 and then drop down to 70 and then back up to 90. That's just too much of a change. It's too probably very stressful for the worms, and I don't want to do that. I want them to be fairly comfortable. So we're going to take a look at installing this. This one happens to be also, I think, enabled so I can monitor it on my phone and everything. So that way I don't have to run down to the basement, come check it, and then run back upstairs. It can just be on there. And then it also has 2 plugs. So before we go, I'm not going to install it, show you installing it, but let me take this out of the box and show you how it works. So let's go take a look. Alright, so here's the box. It's the BN Link Smart Temperature Controller. And as you can see here, it says there's an App Store program on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. And as you can see here, let's open this up. And you can see this has one for heating and one for cooling. So this gives me the option also during other times of year. This is why I bought this one over some of the other ones that had been recommended by people in my on my channel that had put comments in. I sort of wanted to be able to do both, because in the summer it might be a good idea to be able to cool things down and add a fan, which I do have a fan that could plug in and maybe blow across the bins or something like that to kind of cool it down a little bit if it were to getting too hot. So with that, this has a nice robust cable to it, and a temperature probe that is sealed. That was one of the other things that was key in all of this, is I wanted to make sure that this was sealed, because there was a couple that I actually looked at and some people had recommended, and these were not waterproof, and that's a big no-no in worm bins. You want to make sure everything is waterproof. So again here, we've got a quick little, what is this, a 3.5 millimeter jack. It has a temperature sensor and it has this pad. I'm not going to be using that pad. It's just going to go right in the bin. And then over here we've got the cable. Now let's plug this thing in and get it working here. Let's just get this little plug out here. All right, that is sharp. There we go. I've got now this has a 3-prong, just so you can see here, so I wasn't quite expecting that. I thought it would only be a 2-prong. I will have to find another plug that I can plug this into. Alright, so I plugged it in here and I've got it connecting to the phone app. Right now it's showing a temperature of 72.5, and this is the target temperature, so it actually has the heating. I think this is the heating one up here. Up here it has this unit probably turned on as far as a power source to try to heat everything up. Now if I hold this is the temperature probe right here. If I hold it, we're still trying to connect here, but if I hold this, it says it timed out. So this, by the way, this thing works based on a auto scan. I've been trying to connect it here. So trying to connect this again. But I'm trying to connect it to my networks. This is a fairly, as you can tell from my signal on here, it's a very poor signal in this section of my basement, unfortunately. So it just doesn't seem to connect quite as well as it would when where it's going to be plugged in. But the plan is to have this really probably actually be around this temperature of 86 degrees. I was hoping it maybe a little bit cooler, maybe like 84 degrees is the high, and that's where it would shut off at 84 degrees and then kind of drop down to maybe 80, and kind of keep the temperature range in there to keep it a little bit warmer for these African Nightcrawlers. With this, though, as I said before, this is waterproof, so I'm going to be able to put this nice and deep into a bin and really make sure I'm getting a temperature that's not just on the surface, which is what I've been doing, where, at times it's hit 90 degrees, and that's probably way too warm for the worms, and this should fix that, hopefully. I won't need any cooling, but once I get this connected, I'll be able to set it up and then hopefully get this to really connect and work with these temperatures properly. I've tried clicking buttons on here. It doesn't seem to be doing anything, and the directions, I have to admit, are very basic, but it doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot. I don't know if it's because it needs to be connected or what, but I'm going to play around with it some more. And I'll probably have an update later once I have everything working, but tonight it's going to be just getting this in and then setting it up and trying it out for the next day or two to make sure everything's working okay. But the first thing is I really want to get this connected to my Wi-Fi so that way I can really monitor it without having to be down here all the time to check on the temperature and make sure things are okay. But so far it looks like this is very accurate and very quick to change. I mean, like I touch it and I hold it and it immediately starts going up. I mean, you can see how quickly it's going up. It's already above 81, 82, 83. And if I heat this up enough, actually, you're going to see the little heating element, boom, clicked off, and now it's clicking on the cooling, which means that it's clicking on this other unit right here so I could cool something down if I had a fan going or something like that. So, and there we go, it timed out again. I'll have to play around with this and see if I can get it working, but I might have to just set this up, but that's my goal right now, is to just get this working with my system, and we'll go from there. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching, and I will have a link to this down below in the purchase section, although you might want to wait till I have a updated review of it once I have it actually fully functioning. I'm gonna have to move to a different part of my basement, probably with a little bit less light than this, so it might be harder to film to really show it. So thank you for watching, and again, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below.